So the next one is confidence and certainty. And it's just a feeling. But when were you confident? When were you certain about something? Are you certain about being depressed? Are you certain and confident that tomorrow you're going to be depressed? Well, just look at the certainty and confidence of that feeling. And don't be certain and confident that you're going to be depressed all the time. Just feel what it feels like to be confident and certain about something. And just because you're not confident and certain about a solution you want to experience doesn't mean you don't have to feel confident and certain. That's the only way you're going to find the solution, is by being confident and certain. And as soon as you feel that, then after 30 days of doing this, you will find more and more reasons of why you need to, why you will, the universe will confirm, hey, you got a reason to be confident. So you basically tell the world who you are. So if you tell the world that you're doubtful, then the world will say, oh, okay, I'll look at you as a doubtful person. But don't you want people to see you as a confident person? We tend to follow people. We tend to set good examples by being confident. People love confidence. You know, you could be the most unattractive person on the planet, but if you got a sense of confidence in you, man, you'll attract people like crazy. It isn't what you look like, it's how you conduct yourself that is attractive. People don't really know that. It's not about looks. It's all about how you put yourself out into the world. And then the next one is gratitude and humanity. This is one of the most important ones, because if you don't have a sense of gratitude for anything that enters your life, you take it for granted. You just have no value for anything. You know, if somebody shows you an expression of love, you will never see that expression of love if you don't have a sense of gratitude for it. You know, if you end up being a lucky person where you're prosperous all the time, every freaking day, you're attracting what it is you need, but if you're not grateful for when it shows up, you'll always see yourself as lacking something. You can have $1 billion, but if you don't have any gratitude for what it is you've got, you'll always feel like you don't have enough. That's why you have to go out and make more money all the time, because you'll never feel like you have enough, because you have no gratitude for what it is you've got. So, you know, even the slightest bit of love, if you're not grateful for that love, you'll never experience over again. Alignment, if you're not grateful for the alignment that you see, so gratitude and humanity is the only thing that's going to get you connected to anything. So this is one of the most important bottles of all of them, is really feel what it feels like to be grateful for something. Because then you start seeing opportunities will show up constantly, all the time. Great ideas will come up all the time if you just have a sense of gratitude for something. It just opens up your perspective. Now, there is another aspect to this. I do put on these bottles no complaints and no excuses. Why? Because that's the unknown problem. We will not solve any global problems if we can't identify the unknown problem. And the unknown problem basically is this. Everything that you experience that you don't like, you will always make an excuse, you will always have a complaint about it, and you will always say, it's somebody out there doing this to me. You know, it is a way of you putting all of your responsibility and accountability onto somebody else and not on self. You'll never solve any problems if you think everybody else is creating your problems. You have to see that you're creating your own problems. And once we all, as a globe, recognize, hey, it ain't them, it's actually me that's doing it to myself, then we have the potential to make a global transformation. So that is where it does get a little deep, because that's where I would use a lot of this holodynamics information. A lot of people would say putting no excuses and no complaints, the word no is a negative thing, and it's like, that's a wrong thing to do. And also, we live our lives saying ignore the problem, ignore the problem. So to say no excuses, no complaints, it's like, just don't ever make a complaint and don't ever make an excuse. avoid, avoid, avoid. That is how our world is falling apart, because we don't want to deal with these things. It is a matter of designing your life so that you never make a complaint and never make an excuse. But to use this bottle, I want you to make as many excuses and as many complaints as you possibly can. The goal is actually to make as many of them as possible. Don't ignore it. Because the more complaints and the more excuses that you can start verbalizing, putting it out into the world, and then seeing that, that's what's coming from me. This is what's inside me. This is what I need to transform in myself. And then when you actually see other people making complaints and excuses, then you can see that that's their own internal problem that they need to work on themselves. Not look for some outside guy that's going to save you, which is where religion and this alien thing, and everybody is trying to manipulate you into thinking some god, some alien's going to save you. That is where I know that there's bullshit all along, because all problems come from self. And if you are looking for an external avenue to solve your problems, you'll always be disappointed. You have to be the solution to your problems. For you to recognize a problem means you know something is wrong. In order for you to know something's wrong, it means you know something's right. So if you know what's right, that means you do have the solution inside of you. But it's your complaints and excuses and expecting somebody out there to be the solution to it without you realizing that you are the solution to it. So, I've used this when my world was crashing down. I stayed in a bed for 1 solid week. I didn't eat. I didn't do anything. All I did was fill up these bottles, and I just made sure that I drank all 6 bottles every day for a week. And then when I'm lying in the bed, all I'm doing, I'm not thinking about the stories or anything else. All I'm thinking of, what does it feel like to feel love? And then I would sit, I would have a drink of my bottle, and then I would just try and, feel what it felt like. And I'm living through fucking hell. Like, it's so fucking easy to live in the abuse and the insanity and all of the corruption. And these people were putting it on the radio. The government actually took over every media and started advertising that we have access to our justice system. The day I got out of a courtroom where I end up paying a deadbeat child support for the child that lives with me. It's like, how fucking insane. How good is your justice system if I had no access to it? And then you go and advertise it on every friggin' media. Everywhere I went, they're advertising now to let everybody know that you have access to a justice system. It's like, that was one big lie, and you're advertising a lie. And that was driving me fucking insane. So it's like I secluded myself from all of that bullshit. It was so easy to get caught up into the same stories and try to say all of this corruption and all of this, it was just driving me mad. So I secluded myself. I drank from all of these. I felt the feelings of what it is that I wanted to feel. And then after a week, you know what? Over $3,000 was attracted to me. I needed to find a place to live. That's one of the things that I couldn't figure out, is I needed, I was basically homeless with my daughter, and I needed a place to be, and I had no money. I had zero idea what it is that, but as soon, 1 week after doing this, all of a sudden I attracted, it was damn near close to $4,000 that I attracted. I didn't do anything. I just, all of a sudden the universe gave me more than enough money that I needed to find an apartment, found a place to go, and I ended up getting this all-knowing. It's like I just got bombarded with information that was definitely a non-linear thing. Needed to find the science that proves it. Within a short few weeks, I ended up running into this holodynamics, which explains everything on a scientific basis. Everything that I wanted was being attracted to me practically instantly. I ended up getting on a long-term disability system that I'm against, but it's just a label. I attracted the money that I needed to survive and take away the labels, it's still not an easy system to get on, but it was magically just without any effort. You know, it's not like I want to be on that system. I'd rather earn my living in a different way, but it's like, right now our systems, everybody wants to buy things that will actually destroy us. Nobody will actually pay for something that might uplift you. And, you know, here's a good example. I'm putting lots of information out there, no different than what a Tony Robbins or what any motivational speaker would do. This stuff is a heavy, heavy research. This would cost you a lot of money if somebody put this in a form of a course, but it's being offered to you free, but chances are you have no gratitude for it because you didn't pay for it. You know, and it's like, we want to pay for things that will do you harm. And you don't want to pay for things that actually uplift your life. Which is why I don't really get any donations, you know, because it's like, you know, it's not up to me to convince you to do the right thing. You need to be doing the right thing yourself. So I'm not going to market and say, hey, support this. This is something you should know by yourself. You should know to support something that benefited you, and not be buying things that don't support you. You got to just sort of learn those differences, you know. But in the meantime, I don't have to get caught up with that game because my universe says I attract whatever it is that I need, and people may judge me to be wrong because that's what we do. Anything that's right, we tend to judge it to be wrong. Anything that's wrong, we tend to judge it to be right, only because of the labels that we put on it. You know, I've been watching a lot of people, once you're on this system and you see other people that are on this system and they're suffering from, you know, labeled with mental illness, and you actually sit and talk to them, these people are fucking brilliant people. I've seen more intelligence with people that are on a welfare system than I have with people that are in a political system making tons and tons of money. Politicians are so detached from reality, they have no clue what's going on, yet people on the bottom know exactly what's going on. You know, they're lacking an ability to be able to communicate and, you know, getting paid for their talents, because we don't want to pay for those kind of talents. We don't want to pay for things that are right. But there's a lot of people that want to work and labor and do it free, but nobody that has the money is willing to pay for it. You know, it's like, and even if I made a suggestion, hey, donate to me, guess what? I get a lot of criticism for even suggesting that I make a living. You know, it's like, you're going to bitch at me for collecting welfare. You're going to bitch at me for even trying to get off it. It's like, I don't think that I'm the one that's insane. I think it's the judges that are doing it. But anyways, this will connect you with information like you wouldn't believe. It will give you like this all-knowing once you can get yourself into that state of being. And it will make a massive change within 30 days. It takes about 30 days to create a completely new addiction to something. But once you get addicted to this, it's like you will feel wealthy. You will feel friggin' wealthy if you drink and feel abundance and prosperity for a month. If you force your body to make those chemicals, all of a sudden you could be I've started feeling like the wealthiest person on the planet, and I'm freaking collecting a welfare check. It was like the biggest insanity. It's like you're happy while your life is falling apart, but yet you can find a reason to be happy. You know, you feel connected even though you're not connected. You know, I know, I can see that everybody thinks the world is fucked up. So I'm connected with a lot of people that think the world is a little fucked up. Even though I think that I'm totally disconnected from the world, I'm actually seeing how I'm totally in alignment with the rest of the world. You'll see the world completely different, but you do have to do the work. This will have the potential, every single thing that you complain about. If you give your problem what it wants, if you communicate with your problem, these complaints and excuses, why do you have them? You know, listen to your intuition when you're in that state of being, and just keep the communication. What is it you want? What is it you want? What is it you want? Because ultimately your problem is you, and you want something. So you just have to get to know what it is that you want through your problems, and give you your problem what it wants, and you're the winner. It's really, really phenomenal. But I don't know if that's a really good explanation of it. I'm trying to make it short. Hope that helps anybody. But it's sure lots and lots of science. But you gotta force your brain to think. It's just like taking a pill, but you gotta be the one that's doing the work. Peace out.